Hey, what's up, guys? Just want to make a different sort of video here today. Probably end up doing more of these in the future, but I figured I would go ahead and talk about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1, Volume 1 of the DVDs. Just started watching the box set, and I actually just finished this one, so figured why not go ahead and talk about it while it's fresh in my mind. So, with this, as people know, if you know my history with Power Rangers, I mentioned it in my unboxing video, but if you haven't seen that, I'll just go ahead and quickly run it down for you. I have only seen Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I've not seen any show beyond that, and even when it comes to like Super Sentai, I really don't watch it at all. I did try to give it a chance, and it's not a bad show, but for me personally, because I grew up with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, it just works better for me. I'm not saying it's a bad show, that the Super Sentai is a bad show. It's just not really for me, I like the theme song, and I do think it does take itself more serious than this show. But I think that's kind of why I like this show, is that it's fun. Not to say that that show isn't really fun, but that show seems to be more serious. Like if I was an adult and I wanted to say, hey, I watch Power Rangers. Oh, that's a baby show, and then you show them, like, say something from, the Koryu Sentai whatever show. That's basically that. So, just wanted to get that little bit of history out of the way before I start this video. But, talking about Season 1, Volume 1, looking at the DVD here, and it says it has 30 episodes. Just kind of talk to you about which ones that I had seen. Which I watched all of them, but I'll just kind of mention some in particular I liked. Some of them that were, So, anyway, let's get going. So, first episode, Day of the Dumpster. Loved how these characters met. Love how these characters are all unique, I really like all their personalities. They all fit very well. And Day of the Dumpster is pretty much a classic episode. I'm not going to go through like all 30 or anything, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm just going to kind of flip through these and see which ones we had here. Happy Birthday, Zach. I believe that's the one where he fought the Black Knight. That one was a really interesting episode. Power Ranger Punks. I think that's the one where Billy and Kimberly got their minds switched, and then they kind of acted, tough. I always thought that was a fun episode. I really liked that one. It was funny and it was fun. It really shows the acting range of the characters, especially when you watch any kind of show. When you see a show that has to have a character with some range, that's what I like. And I thought they played it off very well. And then, of course, throughout the second disc, they have the 5-part Green Ranger episode, which is by far probably the most classic thing from Power Rangers, at least from what I remember. This was a pretty big deal for the show. It spawned the addition of the 6th, Ranger, the Green Ranger, Tommy, who was always my favorite Ranger as a kid. Nowadays, not so much. I think he's a bit overrated. That's just my personal opinion. I'd personally rather like, say, Zach the Black Ranger or Jason the Red Ranger over, Tommy Oliver. But it's not to say that there's anything wrong with his character, but it just seems like everybody you talk to likes the Green Ranger. And for me personally, I don't want to like the character everybody else likes. Even if he is a good character or a cool character, I would just rather say, like a different character, like Zach the Black Ranger or, Jason the Red Ranger. But the 5-parter was really good. It was really long. Some stuff felt a little unnecessary, but it wasn't too bad. Some of it you could tell was a little bit of filler, but, it stretched it on long enough, and typically there was a reason they did it, but like I said, there were some parts that I feel didn't need to be in there. They were just kind of filler. But yeah, they had that. The only other thing I didn't care for with this was the fact that I really wish they would have taken the extent to maybe extend one more episode onto disc 1 so they could put the 5-parter all on one disc. Because it's really kind of, maybe that's just my OCD or a personal problem, but it's kind of annoying the fact that, you got an episode that has a little episode series segment that has 5 parts, and if I want to marathon all those, I have to have 2 discs. Why couldn't you have just kicked one of the episodes onto the next, disc or something, and then let me have all 5 of these episodes here? It was just kind of annoying, The fact that I had to switch discs, it wasn't really bad because, I was watching these in order, but let's say if I ever wanted to marathon those again, it's like, man, you gotta have 2 discs, especially to show somebody. So, I mean, it's just a minor complaint, a little nitpick, but, that's what I've got to say about that. The Trouble with Shell Shock. Now, that was the first episode that debuted Tommy on the other team, on the good guy's side. And that's the one where they had this ridiculous-looking monster. Typically, I don't think the monsters are usually that bad, or the enemy characters are usually that bad. But this one was just ridiculous. He's a turtle with a traffic light on his head. Like, were they just scraping the bottom of the barrel with that one? A turtle with a traffic light on its head. Now, I assume they couldn't use just the turtle, because people would probably say, oh, you're trying to copy Ninja Turtles or something. So then they put, like, this ridiculous thing like a stoplight on his head. It just didn't make any sense. I think they even mentioned something like teenage alien brats or teenage mutant brats, or they said something like that, I think, in this episode, if I remember right. And I was like, oh, Ninja Turtles. But whatever. It was still an okay episode. I just didn't like the enemy that much. The spider one, yeah, I remember that. Gung Ho, that was a really good episode. Outside of the Green Ranger ones, I'd have to say that was probably my next favorite episode. It was just a really good episode. You got to see the martial arts of Jason and Tommy. It just worked really, really well. And I guess I'll just close this out with this 2-parter here. The Island of Illusion. Now, this is where they were starting to disappear from their fears. For me, personally, I didn't think it needed to be a 2-parter episode. And the fact that it was really just a flashback episode, maybe they just ran out of ideas, I don't know. Or maybe they needed some time to get more ideas. But the fact that they really just use this as a filler episode, I mean, to me it was a filler episode. The thing that, like I said, I didn't really care for was the fact that nothing really happened. And, like, after a while, it's like, oh, they're starting to disappear. Oh, it's because of your fears. Oh, okay. And I just thought it was going to happen to one of the characters. But no, it happened to every one of them. And you hear him saying, hey, don't let Rita's power control you or overpower you. But then in the next scene, they're getting, like, overpowered by it. It just, I don't know, the concept wore on me pretty quick. But other than that, I can't say it was a terrible episode. It was just one of those episodes that really kind of felt unneeded. So, yeah. And then the Rockstar, which really wasn't anything special. So I guess there's nothing really left to say. But there's Season 1, Volume 1. I do plan on doing the rest of the volumes, at least for Mighty Morphin, in the future. That's all I have as far as Power Rangers go. So I don't know if I'll ever do any for the future ones, since I don't own them yet. And I'm not really sure if I want to own them. I'm kind of on the fence on them. I'd like to have them, maybe just to try them. I can't find anything on YouTube about them, so, other than reviews. And I really don't, I want to see maybe an episode or 2 to try it out. But, maybe I'll get the DVDs eventually. For the others. But I knew what Mighty Morphin was because I grew up with it. So I already, know about it. So it wasn't really too hard of a decision for me to get into this. But thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. And we'll see you for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1, Volume 2. Coming soon. Well, as soon as I finish it. So thanks for watching. Take care. and we'll see you next time. Peace.